And thanks very much to Deputy O'Callaghan and the Social Democrats for putting forward this very constructive motion on the question of home ownership, and for highlighting the fact that the government are spoofers when they claim that they are people who champion home ownership, and indeed that they are dishonest in misrepresenting the opposition as people who are not interested in home ownership, when the opposite is the truth. But of course, the government doesn't really care because it's just spin. But what this motion very helpfully does is expose the truth and exposes the spoof of the government around its claim that it is championing home ownership for ordinary people. And let me just give you a few sort of facts to detail just how much you're spoofing and just how disastrous your policies are when it comes to home ownership in our area. I invite the Minister to go on daft.ie now and look at the sale prices of the houses that are being built in the biggest residential development in the country, Cherrywood. 8,000 homes in the process of being built, very, very slowly it has to be said, by the big investors who bought them for a song from the state because of the disastrous decision to mandate NAMA to flog off a massive property portfolio worth €40 billion, of which Cherrywood was one of the major assets, at discount prices to international investors. And look what the net result is. Go on daft.ie now. Mercer Vale, Cherrywood, 3-bed house, €620,000. 3-bed semi-D, that's a terrace, sorry, the first one is a 3-bed terrace, 3-bed semi-D, €650,000. 4-bed, €750,000. Now those affordable prices, Minister, are being delivered by none other than our favourite builder, Cairn Homes, whose profits last year went up by 76%, up to €103 million. Its revenue went up to €617 million, up 46% on the year before. So Cairn Homes making an absolute fortune on houses that are completely unaffordable for about 95% of workers in this country. If you take the average house price in Dún Laoghaire, it is €610,000. In order to get a mortgage from a bank for that, you would need an income of €156,000. In other words, you're never going to get it. So who are going to buy these homes? Well, we have some stats on what's happened. In the last 12 months, 60% of the homes that have been purchased in Dublin have been purchased by non-first-time buyers, by institutional investors, corporate landlords and major investors. 60%. In March, the figure was 73%. 73%. Because, of course, who else could afford this except big international investors? And then they will charge shocking rents. Average rent in my area now, about €3,000 a month. Who on earth could afford that? So that is the reality. And even if you go right down to sort of the average house prices across the country, which are lower, you need an income of €79,000 to buy them at the €308,000 average house price across the country. When you look at Dublin as a whole, you are talking about average house prices of €448,000. So you would need an income of €128,000 in order to buy them. So that is the reality of what's going on. Totally unaffordable houses, massive profits being made by the likes of Cairn Homes, who bought residential development land for a song from the state. Courtesy of the state, their shareholders becoming millionaires, selling stuff that nobody can afford and reaping absolutely massive profits. And to add to that, we have the mortgage interest rates hikes, which are now meaning an extra €4,000 or €5,000 a year for people to service mortgages on these unaffordable properties, which is going to further inhibit the capacity of people to own their own homes. People for Profit suggested you cap interest rates at 3%. Social Democrats are making constructive proposals here. You just ignored a lot. You just ignored a lot. The affordable housing in Cherrywood, for the 15 million in LEHAF funding, as well as lots of other... What did you know you were coming? Right, okay. What? Yeah, we don't even know what affordable housing we're getting or how much it's going to cost for all the money we put in Cherrywood. So get real and deliver affordable housing through the state, because the private sector is only interested in making profit.
Deputy Barrett.